right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Whole Lotta Bogeys podcast interview series. We got a special guest today. You've all probably seen this guy on your Instagram feed, slinging the ball, sending out some very creative, cool shots, and getting some exceptional results because of them.
Yep.
And that's going to be Mac Boucher. Mac, if you want to introduce yourself to the guys and all the guests and let everybody know what's up.
Yeah, guys, I'm Mac Boucher from Canada, Toronto specifically. Just a washed up professional golfer that posts useless golf videos now. So,
oh man, you can't say that.
Yeah, that's what we say. That's what we say. Yeah, just kind of started as something fun to do a couple of years ago during COVID, and then now it's kind of just become a bit of the job, I guess.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So you said you started the content over COVID, like when?
Yeah, so I was actually a little quick rundown. I'll give you the Coles notes because it gets a little long, but played professionally for a while, Canadian tour, Australasian tour, did some stuff over there. Took a job teaching in New Zealand just before COVID. I gave up playing professionally. I had wrist surgery in 2016, end of 2016. Took me out for a year, so I couldn't play. Took a head teaching position over in New Zealand for a few years, essentially from 2017 till 2020 when COVID hit. Was forced to leave when COVID hit, came back, was kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Wasn't loving teaching still. So, just started posting kind of videos during COVID. It's something fun to do to pass the time. And then obviously I never expected it to kind of do what it has now, but kind of just riding the wave, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel like that's the most cool way to have stuff happen is naturally, not going out and trying to make the big bucks and get everybody's attention, but just doing something you love and getting a good result from it. I think that's like the new American dream, honestly, with this social media stuff. So
yeah. And I think, I get asked a lot, like I get a ton of DMs. I try to get to everyone. It gets a little overwhelming, but a common question I get is like, how do I do what you're doing? And I'm like, I didn't try to do this. It was like something that just kind of happened, me being myself. I think that's the biggest thing I tell people. As soon as you start coming across fake or not who you actually are, I think people see right through that. And I think just sticking to who you are and let things kind of come as they're supposed to. So
yeah,
sure. Definitely.
Speaking on that, we actually interviewed a mutual buddy of ours now, Jeff and Todd Bishop from Dormy Workshop. They really hit on how genuine of a guy you were in real life, and not only that, but just how genuine and real your videos are. This isn't like 50 tries type thing on something. Like you really do have the talent, and you're even posting bloopers too, which is commendable. You know what I mean? Like it takes a lot to put yourself out there and show people that not every swing is a gorgeous sling to within 2 feet of the pin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always say that to people is like, that's a common thing I get. It's like, oh, it probably took you 20 shots. I'm like, it actually took me 1 shot. If I had a bad one, I sometimes just won't post it if it's not really that cool. I'm like, whatever, I'll try again on a different hole. I always say if I was that good at golf, I'd be playing on the PGA Tour. I wouldn't be posting daily Instagram videos. Like, obviously, I'm capable of hitting some shots a lot of guys in the PGA Tour probably couldn't even hit, and I've had professional golfers tell me that. But at the end of the day, I'm just a guy that's posting fun golf videos, and I think that's important that I do post the bloopers, that I do post the stuff that shows that I am just a real person, that I'm not some superstar, right?
Right. Yeah. I feel like when we watched, some golf content, we say like, is this the WWE of golf? Like, I don't know. Every shot seems so perfect sometimes. And it's like, are they doing it over and over again? It's nice to hear that a guy like you who was posting all these shots, it's a one take thing. If you don't get it, you move on from the next hole and you hopefully get it the next shot,
Yeah. And I always said I started my account to post my highlights. I don't want to necessarily dwell on negatives. Like we all make bogeys, we all make doubles, we all make stuff like that. I started the account to showcase a skill set that I guess I felt like I had. So it was like, you watch Sports Center on ESPN or something, you're watching the highlights. They obviously show bloopers and stuff that's like funny and engaging, but no one cares about a missed jump shot or something that had no relevance to the game. They show the made shots or like the big missed shots that kind of affect something. So that's kind of what I always say is obviously I hit bad shots. I show a very small version of an 18-hole round of golf. But I want to show the stuff that I'm proud of. I don't think it's necessary to show stuff that I'm like, it's like whatever, right?
Right, for sure.
So
one of the things too we wanted to talk about was you obviously do a lot of traveling for golf, whether it's to Dubai, New Zealand, various places in Canada. What's like some of your favorite courses outside of your home course that you play like on the daily basis?
I just have to say something quick. I really respect the Tim Hortons. You guys are both.
Let's go. Come on. Come on.
I couldn't sit there. Like, I'm licking my chops right now. Like, I need to get my mitts on one myself.
Second cup of the day. We did a
love
podcast this morning too with a different interview guest, and had to get the large this morning, 7 a.m. bright and early, and now second interview of the day. Grab another cup.
I'm about to go make a trip after I get my second of the day as well. So.
Let's go.
For sure. What's your Timmy's order looking like?
Yeah.
While we're on the topic,
I'm an iced coffee, like just a stock iced coffee. I've been going for. I need to get on the black train like you, like the just. I need to eliminate the dairy from my life because it doesn't sit too well. So we're working towards it. I'm kind of light on the milk now. Just a splash of milk to give it something.
Beautiful.
Dude,
but
gotta try the oat milk too, man. People sleep on it, but it is good. Like, it does taste pretty good.
I know. I definitely need to, because the dairy, I need to cut the dairy, because especially when I'm ripping 3 of those a day in summer.
Yeah.
So
It doesn't help anybody ever. Been
there. In terms of courses though, so I mean, I love New Zealand. That country's got a kind of a soft spot for me. I spent a lot of time over there, pretty much essentially from 2013 to 2000. And I mean, I was there about 2 months ago. Spent a ton of time in that country and kind of just fell in love with every golf course there. Cape Kidnappers, Curry Cliffs, Jack's Point, Millbrook, the course that I was a teaching pro at. Those courses are always something I'm super pumped to go play. I mean, Canada's filled with a ton of good golf courses as well, obviously coast to coast. Cabot Links out on the East Coast, where I was up with the Bishop boys in the fall. Honestly, there's so many that I don't even think I can just pick a couple. I'd say Jack's Point, New Zealand's by far my favorite course in the world. And then my course, Bear Mountain out on the west coast of Canada is it's probably close second. So
that's probably the most beautiful course I've ever seen. Like, just like the backdrops you get on some of those reels and like the highlight shots, like I'm like, all right, I got to watch it once to see the backdrop and what's going on. I got to watch it once and focus on the shot. So, I mean, it's almost like a 2-for-1 on the views too.
Yeah. And I mean, that's something I think's really benefited me, is I've had access to a lot of these. I guess something that I enjoy about golf is these courses that are not just like, I love a good private country club in Toronto or like a good Muni course. But for me, the best golf courses can be a kind of a lousy golf course as long as they have good views. Something that's like super important to me. So luckily in Canada, there's a lot of mountains, there's a lot of ocean, there's a lot of courses that have access to like some cool views like that. Bear Mountain is a wicked golf course, but the views are just insane. I think pictures don't really even do it justice. And it's kind of, to be honest, even as a Canadian, like coming from Toronto, it's pretty like untouched. Like not a lot of Canadians have actually gone out there and experienced it. So I'm kind of hoping that I put it on the map a little bit and make it more of a destination for people that they want to go check out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I definitely followed them because of the videos you were posting and seeing them tagged. I was like, I gotta check this out. This place is crazy. So
yeah,
it's definitely working.
Yeah, it's cool.
Some of the like mountain golf that you show, you know what I mean? It's definitely put that on my bucket list to play some courses like that. You know what I mean? It's insane. Some of the backdrops we see, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, coming from like you guys, like New York, Toronto, our landscapes are similar. You guys obviously have ocean, we don't, Toronto, but mountain golf is like a treat for me. I find that's the reason I'm based on the West Coast now. It's just like, I'm a big mountain guy. I need to be around the mountains. I think mountain golf is by far my favorite. So
for sure. Yeah, we're located over in Buffalo, so actually not too far from Toronto.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever taken the trip up or down here, but we've taken the trip up to Toronto plenty of times. Love the city, a lot of fun. So
yeah, it's cool. I used to go down to a Bills game kind of once a year back in the day when I was more based here. And obviously driving through.
Solid tradition.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly.
You jumped through any tables when you were down here? Or?
Oh, no tables. I'm pretty reserved guy. I don't like bottle and get loaded or anything. So I feel like you got to be pretty buckled to do that.
For sure. You definitely aren't thinking in the right mind frame if you're going to be jumping through a table in freezing cold weather in front of a bunch of people recording you. But
yeah, exactly.
No, we need those types of people though. Otherwise, we'd never see those videos. So
honestly, I mean, the Bills fans are hard to beat. They're good people. And they love the team, and it's pretty cool. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, living here, that's one of the crazy things about it is like whether it's game day or not, it's impossible to leave your house and not see somebody in Bills gear or multiple people.
Really cool.
It's like watching the TV with medicine commercials. You can't watch TV without seeing it. You can't go out and not see it. But
yeah, it's awesome.
Definitely.
Another question for you. What's it like being able to work with TaylorMade and getting to meet guys like Tommy Fleetwood and shoot the shit with them, and just like, I don't know, it seems like it's such a cool experience, and getting to see be one of the faces of their whole like social media campaign. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, again, I'm super introverted. I've never liked the spotlight. I keep to myself. I'm more of like a watch from a distance and listen, not get in there and be the center of attention. So that's been a huge adjustment to me. But honestly, I used TaylorMade when I was playing professionally. They used to send me gear back in the day, and it's a relationship that's just kind of like kept going through the years. Obviously, signing with them was something that I never really pictured myself ever getting to that level, which is pretty cool. I think I was one of their very first non-professional golf signees, because I think they're realizing the power of social media and the influence that someone like myself with like a decent reach might have on just the general public, more than some of the tour players.
Right.
So it's been like unbelievable that that company as a whole have just treated me so well, and really kind of helped me with this whole Instagram journey we're on. So that's been awesome. Obviously, the meeting the professional golfers and stuff, that's another thing that's kind of just happened the last couple of years, doing the like a lot of the DP World Tour events, a few PGA Tour events and stuff. And I mean, it's cool because I find that like there's two types of people in the world. There's people that put people on pedestals, like these famous people, and really like so we're like really kind of froth over them and just want every piece of them. And I'm not really like that. Like I kind of, everyone's the same for me in this world, and it's really cool getting to know them and just talking to them like normal human beings. So definitely, I'm actually heading to Dubai 2 days to do some stuff for HSBC Abu Dhabi next week, playing in the Pro-Am. I'm not sure who I'm going to be playing with, but it'll be another. It's always a cool experience watching those guys play.
Yeah, what are the Pro-Ams like? 'Cause you've competed in those before, so
yeah. So I mean, I get like the invitation to kind of come out. It's pretty funny. So I think it was my first one I played in was last year at HSBC. Actually, it's only been about a year of me doing these, but I did the one at HSBC. I played with Thomas Peters, and he won that week.
That's awesome.
So he won after I played with him, and that same week I did some stuff on the driving range with Rafa Cabrera-Bello, and he finished second. So both guys that I kind of did stuff with ended up doing pretty well. And then I went to Belgium, same thing, played with Sam Horsfield, who actually went on to win that week.
Dude,
so
like the good luck charm.
Yeah,
hey, dude, all these pros got to start. Or actually, I'm gonna figure out who you hung out with, and then I'm gonna hammer some money on them.
Honestly, I'll have to let you know in HSBC, because my record is it's pretty damn good. So
yeah, untouchable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, getting back to like TaylorMade and your relationship with them, I feel like partnering with a guy like you said, you know, you were one of the first non-professional golf signees. I feel like it's you, as opposed to like some of the golf professionals, you have such a bigger reach because of your social media, you know what I mean? And like, I feel like it's so beneficial to TaylorMade to have a guy like you who's like, you know, projecting to the guys like us who are the new, you know, the new wave of golf, to kind of, you know, like the younger generation of golf, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's the same with like the good guys and like all these younger generation of people that are kind of pushing golf. Like that's who people are going to watch now. The attention span to go watch golf on a Thursday afternoon on the PGA Tour it's becoming less and less. And it's unfortunate because like I still love watching golf, but I think people with the shorter attention spans, little YouTube clips, little stuff like I'm doing, I guess, is something that is relatable to people. And I think that's obviously going to sell more. Like people aren't going to go buy a driver because Rory's playing it, because Rory's Rory. Like they can't relate to that, right? So yeah, not to mention like I get a lot of DMs asking like, oh, what gear do you use? Do you suggest this? Do you suggest this? And I think the fact that we do respond back and kind of can give a little bit of advice and stuff is obviously going to give some people the push to maybe pull trigger on buying something new or something.
Oh, 100%.
Definitely. Yeah, it definitely gives it a way more relatable feel. You know,
yeah, exactly.
Rory, who's perfect every time.
Yeah, and I mean, my big thing is like the 7-wood. Like 7-woods were kind of unheard of for the most part. I actually put one in the bag last year. It's just to kind of test. I love hitting woods, and it kind of just became my like, I guess, thing. Like everyone started kind of realizing I was playing it. Guys in the PGA Tour were playing it, but I think people didn't know that they were playing on the PGA Tour, and I was like sitting there broadcasting it, hitting it every get. And then TaylorMade told me that they had a massive surge in left-handed 7-wood sales last year because obviously, like, I'm not saying I'm taking credit for it, but I probably had some impact on
100%.
It's probably you. Yeah.
You're part of the lefty gang.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Our roommates left-handed started golfing about a year and a half ago, and I know he's always like talking about that, and we're always like, yeah, man, lefties usually have a really good swing right out of the gate too. And lo and behold, a hockey player going and starts playing golf, he has a pretty good swing. So
yeah, no, it's cool because I mean I'm right hand dominant, and I always say like I think for lefties it was always like told just to be, yeah, everyone's right handed, but I think now that more athletes from other sports are getting into it, I think it's easier to understand like being lead side dominant in your golf swing. So I'm like right handed, swing lefty, so I just shut my entire trail side kind of out of the golf swing, and normally you can make it look pretty good because of that. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, oh, another question for you. Out of all the places that you've gone, all these courses and everything, which place had the best food? Like which course did you leave and you were saying to yourself, like, wow, that food was better than your traditional golf course food that you would get at your clubhouse or afterwards at the bar? Because sometimes when you see these courses and all the different amenities that they have, it like leads you wondering, like, what are the little things like, you know?
Honestly, I think in terms of like that style, or like I'd say in the US, like the private clubs in the US are pretty, I would say the food scene is normally the best. Like making a turn, getting a hot dog. It's not a normal hot dog. It's a different hot dog, right? Because in other places in the world, like you go to like New Zealand or Australia, where I've spent a lot of time, like it's a lot of like meat pies and sausage rolls and like just basic stuff like that. So they don't have that same food culture that like some of the private clubs in the US do. So I'd say, yeah, by far the US.
Yeah.
I can't even pinpoint one club, but any course that I played down there normally is pretty high end for that.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. What's the golf culture like up in Toronto too? Is it as big as you would say here in like the US, like over in California and Austin, Texas type area, where I'd say those are like the
Some
two
bigger
that I'm
cities,
thinking of the
yeah.
biggest boom
Yeah.
for like golf?
Yeah, I mean, so people don't know this, but Toronto or Canada in general has the most golf courses per capita in the world. So
Wow.
like golf in Canada is huge. It's like obviously our season's short, like it would be in Buffalo, but people love golf up here. Like it's very, very the courses are busy. There's hard to find tee times. There's a ton of golf courses. There's different levels of golf. So you have obviously like the local muni courses that are $40 a round, or you have like the private clubs that are hundreds of thousands to join. So you have a huge variety for everyone, which is, I think, somewhere like California, you're either stuck playing like a real beat up muni course, or you're at a top private club. There's not, or like a high end public course. So, I mean, every time I go to California, that's probably the hardest thing is like actually trying to get tee times at like a decent golf course that's not rammed with people or impossible to get on.
For sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, with like the off seasons in Canada and everything like that, how much simulator golf do you find yourself doing, and how much practice do you do on that?
Yeah, so luckily, I pretty much haven't been home for Canadian winter, and I want to say this is the longest I've been even home in Canada for like close to probably 10 years. I used to spend like about 3 or 4 months of the year in Australia every winter from 2012 to 2015. And I lived in New Zealand all year round, or for a good chunk of the year, kind of after that. And then the last 2 winters I've been in Dubai. So I don't have to on a simulator golf. Luckily, it's kind of been chasing summers around the world.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, having the ability to travel like that and get to golf at the same time has to just be so dope. Like, I mean, getting to combine two things that are a lot of people's like main hobbies, being traveling and golfing, and getting a career out of it too. Like, it's very impressive, very cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It is it's nice because when I used to play professionally, you're obviously having to grind over making a cut to make a check. So you're spending a lot more money than you're making, obviously at the lower levels of professional golf. So it's nice now that I can kind of make a bit of a living again. Am I getting rich? No, because that's not why I started my account. So I've been pretty selective of companies I work with, because I just want to make sure I stay true to what got me to this point. But it's nice that now I can travel, play golf, not really have to worry about what I shoot anymore, as much as I still enjoy shooting a number. But yeah, it's pretty, I'm definitely pretty fortunate. No complaints there.
If you're in the Western New York area, you need to check out the Lynx Golf and Tap. They have 4 full TrackMan simulators. They're absolutely top of the line. You're not going to break the bank by going there and renting one out. They also have a full bar, and they offer food from the critically acclaimed Anchor Bar. Whether you're looking to fine-tune your skills and get some analytics from your golf swing, or just trying to hang out with friends on a Saturday night, the Lynx is definitely going to be your spot. With a wide variety of drinks offered at the bar, there's no way you're not going to have a great time. If you're local too to the Buffalo area, you're definitely going to want to check out league nights, because at the end of the league season,
season, the winner is going to be granted a full membership to the Links Golf and Tap, and that is definitely a prize worth winning. Check out their social media links that we're going to put on the screen right here for you, and check them out at this address that we're going to put on the screen for you guys. Yeah, and we've heard you say multiple times across different platforms that you like really aren't playing golf for score, and that you're just out there to have fun, you know, and display like the creative aspect of like some of these shots. And I think that's a very important thing to kind of showcase to the younger generation of people that are coming out and playing. You can almost even use golf as an escape from the competitiveness of other sports that you play or like have been pressured with playing your whole life.
Yeah.
And it gives you a whole nother feel and a whole nother love that you can appreciate. And it's pretty cool.
I mean, going out and competing with your buddies, like you can still be competitive, but like
100%.
on competitive, right? And I think, I mean, I compare it to like people don't play beer league hockey to try to get it to the NHL. They play beer league hockey because they didn't want to give up playing hockey, and they can play until they're 60 years old without their bodies crumbling too much. It's similar with golf. Like people need to understand that 99.999% of golfers are never going to make a living playing golf. They play because it's a recreational pastime that is enjoyable for people. And I think these people are always like, you guys see all the hate and stuff that I get. It's like, it's just constant. Like, why are you hitting circus shots when you should be out trying to shoot a score? I'm like, shoot a score for what? So I can go brag that I shot 67. Like I've been there, done that. I don't need, that doesn't make me feel good anymore. Like I'm not on the tour, right? It's for me, I get more satisfaction from hitting a gap this big in a tree, and hitting it on the green or something. Like that's going to give me a lot more validation that like this is fun than me going out. Obviously, like I do occasionally like to go out and shoot a score. Like I still like to convince myself that I can still play golf at a high level. When I go play with these professional golfers on pro-ams and stuff, I don't want to embarrass myself. It's important that I go out and still show that I can shoot a few under par and like actually compete. But I think I can do that while still having fun and hitting crazy shots as well. So
definitely, you're there to enjoy yourself first and foremost. You know what I mean? If you're not enjoying yourself, you're like, what are you doing? You know, you're wasting time.
That's what I just see so many people that are just so hard on themselves. I'm like, you could probably play a lot better golf if you just relaxed a little bit, enjoyed it, and if you hit it in the forest, drop one and hit again, and just you'll shoot a better score because you're not always so uptight that you're gonna screw up. So
right, exactly.
And as for the like hate comments and stuff with people talking about like the circus shots or whatever, there is plenty of people shooting straight balls with not even that great of a result on Instagram. All right. Like, I don't understand what the hate comes from. You know what I mean? Like, it's something fresh and new and cool. And it's like, you're getting better results than most of these people that are taking these traditional approaches to doing stuff. And I don't know. It's just, we like it and we appreciate that you have posted it and everything. So that's why we don't get it.
Yeah. And I mean, even I posted a video yesterday. I was hitting like a 5-iron from 155 yards, hit like a punch cut to like 8 feet. And somebody's like, I just don't get why you wouldn't just hit a 9-iron. I'm like, I just hit it to 8 feet with a 5-iron. Why does it matter how it got there?
I'm like, exactly.
And that's what really I like. If you go to a PGA Tour event, there's guys hitting pitching wedges. There's guys hitting 7-irons. It's not one conventional thing with one person. There are guys like Zach Johnson who made an entire career and won the Masters hitting rope hooks. Like thought that he could hit. That guy couldn't hit a cut to save his life, but he didn't get hated for it. He got like people appreciated the fact that he was playing to his strengths. And I think that's what people need to understand with me is like, yeah, I hit a big hook, but generally 99% of the time, my hook is going to be an overhook as a miss. So it eliminates the left side of the golf course for me. So if there's hazards left and stuff, I'm going to hit a hook because it's never going to go in the hazard.
Yeah. Right.
So it's me understanding what I'm good at and taking advantage of it. And I think that's what people have a hard time wrapping their head around, that it's like, it's obviously different. So they just don't like it.
I was going to say, it almost shows your level of understanding the game. You know what I mean? Like you said, you understand where your strengths are. You understand when to play to your strengths and how to play to your strengths. You know what I mean? And I feel like golf is a game of that. You know, there's so many different clubs you can play in, so many different situations, so many different shots. You know, you got to do what feels right.
Yeah. And I think, I've seen even when I was teaching full time, there's so many people who come to me and be like, I need to get rid of my slice. I'm like, well, why don't we make your slice playable to the fact where you're not losing distance? We tinker with it until because naturally you're wanting to make that ball or that shape. So we can turn that slice into like more of a fade that's controllable and you know where it's going. Again, you're not going to get to the PGA Tour. Let's just make this so you can go out and find your golf ball every single time. And I think that is more beneficial to me than like these guys who like try to completely change their golf swing to like fit this perfect mold, because it's just not possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. I feel like with what separates, like, I know it's like the standard like cliche, I guess, for what separates the pro from the amateur being that you're making your misses better misses, but it's really something that I feel like every golfer should kind of think about when playing, is just try to make any miss, if you're gonna miss, better than the last one, if that makes sense. Like you
Yeah,
hit
100%.
3 shots in the woods the last round, focus on trying to get at least one in there. That's all right, but no more than one, you know, like baby steps, give
Yeah, I
yourself
mean,
goals that are attainable.
it's the same with tour players. It's like they look at a pin. If it's a tucked right pin, they're playing to where the miss is going to go. They don't want to short side themselves by hitting it right. They're going to aim for the fat part of the green. And I think it's the same thing. It's understanding that you're never going to hit the same. Like, it's rare that you're going to hit your same spot every time. It just doesn't work like that. You're going to have a vision of where you want it to go, but at the end of the day, it's where the ball ends up is the that's where you need to be playing it to and where you should miss. So yeah, I think most people need a better understanding of that, but
definitely. Yeah, couldn't agree more, honestly.
What's your regular practice routine look like, or is there I don't know if you would necessarily call it practice, or if it's just going out and hitting some balls when you have the time and you're not doing anything else, or what's that?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't hit a
like?
ton of range balls. I'm a get on the golf course and play a ton of golf. I mean, when I'm obviously playing with people or I'm going out by myself, I don't just like hit a bunch of shots in the course to practice. I try to go out and actually play real golf. But if I do go to the range, I hit a lot of half shots, just working on good contact. I'm a firm believer that like every golfer could be better if they just learn to hit the middle of the face better. So I think that's something that's like a strength of mine. Is like I do find I catch the middle a lot of the time. So a ton of half shots in the range. It's rare I sit there and go full swing on a driving range. It just doesn't happen very often. And then I get on the course and I will tinker and go out, play by myself in the evening and stuff, and just like work on different lies and stuff. But most of my practice is done on course.
Yeah. No. What putter are you gaming right now?
So I have just that old Spider.
You rotate your putter a lot, or you kind of stay trying?
No,
to
I used to. I mean, people used to like chirp me all the time online because every other video I was having a new putter, and I went through a little stage where I was trying to tinker. This kind of one I'm using now. It's the old Spider. Kind of been in the bag forever. I used it when I played professionally, a different version of it. It's kind of just stayed in the bag since. So,
is there a little lead tape on there?
Yeah, I loaded it up. I don't think it does anything, but whatever.
In all reality, for me, like I could play around with the lead tape, and I feel like for me personally, it would be like a mental thing. Like I don't know enough about where I'm putting it or what I'm doing, where if I put it on there and got a good result, I'd be like, I did it. I got it. Like I got that result I was looking for. But then as soon as I go shank a couple, I'd be like, all right, we're taking it off.
Yeah, no, I think that's so funny when you see people with like loads of lead tape in their clubs. I'm like, I don't think you're really good enough to make a difference here.
Yeah.
Did it because I didn't like the bottom of it, so I just loaded it with lead tape.
Nice.
That's the only reason. It's aesthetic.
No, I mean it's another thing I feel like a lot of people don't hit on enough. There's like you got to have a lot of confidence when you're looking down at your putter, because if you don't think you're gonna make it, you're probably not gonna make it. If you think you can make it, you probably can make it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I've got I mean, let's grab it quick. I have a custom. This one was in the rotation for a bit. I'll probably toss it back in eventually. It's this custom one that this Coggan guy made. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
Oh, I love that shape.
Love the shape. Yeah.
He just made it completely custom.
Slinging.
Dude,
that's sweet.
That's
sick. So it's pretty sweet. I used it for a bit, and I do really like it. Obviously, with my TaylorMade contract, I'm on a 12 club contract with TaylorMade, so I do have some flexibility to use something else. But I probably will switch it again. Might come to Dubai with me in a couple days. We'll see.
There you go.
That's awesome. Do you prefer that shape or the blade style shape over the mallet, or
kind of pretty terrible at anything, to be honest? It doesn't make a difference for me. I'll miss putts regardless. So
yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
How many rounds of golf do you play a week?
The last year, it's been a ton. I'm playing. It's either I'm in an airplane traveling somewhere or on the golf course.
Nice.
Yeah, we been pretty lucky with that, where obviously Bear Mountain, kind of home base. When I am home, I literally just go and play there from sun up to sundown. It's like a playground for me. So a ton of golf there, and then obviously Dubai. I practice out of the L's Club, and I normally get out in the morning and then maybe sneak out again in the afternoon. So playing a ton of golf last year, probably more now than I was when I was playing full time, to be honest. So
that's great. Living the dream, right? That's
trying.
awesome.
time.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's sweet. Do you got a favorite club of all time, like an old trusty, like Old Faithful, tough one to take out of the bag, makes its way back in?
It hasn't ever came out of the bag. It's seen a couple different shafts, but the heads, it's the old exotics.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
It's, I believe it's like coming on to like maybe 13 or 14 years old now.
Wow.
I got it when I was like 18, one of my first years of golf. I started really late. I didn't start playing until I was like 18. And yeah, it stayed in the bag the entire time. So that was part of my thing with TaylorMade, is when I did sign with them, I told them under no circumstances I'm going to sign unless I can't keep this club in the bag. So
that's awesome.
There you go. You got to
stay faithful to what's done you right over the years, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. I like it so much that I actually found one on like one of those Second Swing websites.
Oh, I love that website.
Yeah.
Yeah, Second Swing. I found one. It was like $27, the exact same one. So I have a backup if I ever need it.
Beautiful.
That's awesome. I feel like that's a thing too with people. Sometimes they feel like they need the newest, best, most updated gear to get the best performance out of their game, when in reality it comes back to that, like, you got to feel good looking at it, you got to be comfortable with it, and remember that the club's capable of doing it. It's most likely the you that was the issue, not the club. So
100%. Yeah, I think that's a huge thing with people, is people tinker too much and they're constantly trying to find something. I'm not a big tinker of clubs. Like I mean, I have a lot of clubs and I probably too many, but I don't like changing that much. So I'm normally find something that works and hold on to it for the most part.
Yeah, it always works out better that way, honestly. So
100%.
You mentioned you started really playing when you were 18. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So my first year, like I started when I give you, I guess, a little background. As I played every other sport growing up, played hockey. I was a competitive swimmer. I kind of soccer, pretty much any sport I played. I was very like hyperactive, ski, snowboard. And now when I was kind of later years of high school, they found a cyst in my brain that was like causing me really bad headaches and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Ended up being like in the center of my brain, but the size of a golf ball. So anytime like I did anything high impact, rattle around, bruise the inside of my brain, giving me concussion symptoms. So I pretty much had to quit all high impact sports. So that's why I picked up golf.
Jeez. Okay. Sorry, it's terrible, but I mean,
no,
at least there was a silver lining in the end.
Exactly. It's one of those things that are, I mean, the body can do some weird things. So, I mean, luckily golf's pretty low impact and we can make it work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely talented and got a gift in that aspect too. So cool to see you showcase it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Let me see. I got one other thing that we wanted to do before we get out of here, and it's kind of a rapid fire type question thing. We're gonna ask you some questions, golf related, some not golf related. Just how quick you could rip through them and give us the most honest answer. What comes to mind quickest is usually what's true, you know.
Okay.
All right. So you want to read them off?
Sure. Yeah, I'll do it.
Perfect. All right. You ready?
Rapid fire. Rory or DJ?
Rory.
Live or PGA?
PGA.
Spikes or no spikes?
No spikes.
High-end golf ball or just any golf ball?
High end.
Gotcha. Breakfast or dinner?
Dinner.
Football or hockey?
Hockey.
Public or private courses?
I'm a public banger.
Let's go. Shorts or pants?
Pants, just because Primo golf apparel. Shout out to that. It's kind of been one of my staples, so I gotta say Primo.
Absolutely. Blades, cavity, or muscle backs?
Blades.
And then cart or stand bag?
Stand.
Nice.
Man.
Love it.
Yeah, we made the mistake of getting this like cart bags when we were like, oh man, we had stand bags forever growing up. Cart bags always look cooler, more pockets, bigger, and then you get it and you got to walk once, and you're like, dude, this fucking sucks.
Yeah,
man.
no,
I stuck with the cart or the stand bag.
I'm like as smaller the better. For me, honestly, I would use like a thing for arrows for a bow and arrow if I could.
Yeah, your back.
Sweet.
One thing too with Primo, we saw you were in early with Primo from pretty much the jump with them, and it's cool to see like a partnership like that where you guys were able to kind of both grow, and a lot of the comments like are like positive about how sweet the pants are that you're wearing, and I'm sure it's bringing a lot of business in for them, and it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's probably one of been the coolest kind of relationship, because I feel like I've grown and they've grown together almost. When I first started wearing that pant, I was like first starting out. I think I only had about 10,000 followers on Instagram. This was I guess May. When did I have 10,000? May 2021. Yeah, May. So like under 2 years ago. And I started wearing them, and then were like a brand new company that were just hit the market. No one was really wearing them. I started wearing them, and they've just like gone crazy. I actually did a giveaway when I had about 10,000 followers. I had like 10,000 entries for it. So they gained a huge amount of followers from that. And it's funny, I get approached obviously now by some bigger brands and stuff. And I've been in talks with like a relatively large brand, one of the biggest brands in the world. And they sent me over some stuff, and I pretty much said, like, under no circumstances I will sign with you guys unless Primo can be a part of that deal still, where I can still wear them. Just because they have been so good to me. So got a lot of respect for those boys. They do some cool stuff. So
definitely.
No, it's cool. I mean, that's like, you're the ideal partner. That's what everyone's looking for when it comes to doing these deals and everything. You want to have somebody that's loyal to you and trustworthy and everything. So
well, I think that's the biggest thing with like social media is like people start growing and start getting more opportunity, more kind of money chucked at them. And I think everyone just takes that money so quickly. And you could offer me a lot of money to do a lot of things, and I would probably just say no. Like, I'm pretty happy just living paycheck to paycheck, doing what I'm doing, staying loyal to the people that got me to this point. I think that's so important to me, and it's something that really bothers me with social media, that you see a lot of these guys, as soon as they start getting that following, they start changing their brand completely to cater to brands who are paying their kind of paycheck, and then they don't become relatable anymore, and they're just like and then they fizzle away. So their shelf life is so short, when I want this to be something that's long term. And I think staying loyal to these brands is so important in that.
Definitely.
100%.
Especially someone, you use the product even before you really had like a relationship like that. You know what I mean? It seemed like you love the product so much, and it's the best testimonial you could ever ask for.
100%. And I want to wear something that I love, and like, I'm not going to wear something that, like, it's same with shoes and stuff. Like, there's a reason why I haven't signed with like a shoe company exclusively, because I'm a bit of a sneakerhead, and I always want to use a different pair of shoes every video. And it would have to, like, there was no sum of money that would take away the individuality of me being able to wear whatever the hell I want. And I think that's for me, a lot more gratifying than just like being stuck wearing one style of shoe all the time just because someone's paying me. Right.
For sure. What's in your current rotation for the on-course shoe game?
So I just got these the other day, actually. They showed up yesterday. So I've been big on them.
Hell yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I've been big on them. I've got them in pretty much every color they've released. There's one, I don't spend my money on much other than these shoes and my travel. That's about all I spend my money on. Goat Lane out of Sweden it's definitely up there. They're wicked. The guys who own the company are incredible dudes, and been another company that's been fun having like a little bit of a partnership with, and they understand that I like to wear different brands as well. So they're not possessive and just making me only wear them. I'd say those, and then the G4s that are the TaylorMade G4s are pretty regularly worn.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the G4. They look sweet.
Yeah.
Did you see the purple colorway in the Jordan 1 Low golf shoes?
Yeah, I
match your old trusty club with that purple shaft.
I know. They're the only ones I don't have yet. I just got the all white recently. I got these like navy ones that I think were a limited release coming. So it's pretty I've got a bit of an addiction, unfortunately.
I mean,
it's a cool one. It's a good one.
I was gonna say.
I think that's something that's like benefited me, is that like it's rare that you see me wearing the same thing in one of my videos, which you'll see a lot of like the female golf influencers. It's more about like style and stuff. But I think I've kind of almost brought that to the male game a little bit. Like, I'm definitely no fashionista. I think I like some of the cool things that these brands are offering, and I think that's what's been created a bit of a niche by me wearing unique things. So.
Right, sure. I mean, golf's a gear game.
I was just about to say that. We always talk about golf's a gear kind of thing. Everyone loves to have the, whatever. There's a lot of cool.
And I even compare it to look at like hockey games and stuff. Look at these guys showing up to a hockey game. They're always wearing like crazy outfits and stuff, walking up the tunnel and stuff. Same with like every sport, football, basketball. These guys, like, it's really big for most men. So I don't know why you wouldn't, being in my position, why I wouldn't kind of translate that to on-course gear and kind of create that a bit of a niche, because no one else is really doing it. They're posting golf videos, but no one's really focusing on like the attire and like making it look good, right?
Yeah, look good, feel good, play good, right? Absolutely.
That's it.
Well, all right, Mac, we won't take up any more of your free night tonight. We really appreciate
Yeah,
you
man,
coming
thank you,
on and
seriously.
hopping on our interview series on the show. We hope you had a good time chopping it up with us. And
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, I can't thank you enough. I know you have a super busy schedule. And yeah, seriously, thought it was great.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for having me on. I really nice meeting you too, and enjoy
Absolutely.
those. I'm gonna rip out and get myself one right now.
Oh yeah,
Hell yeah.
hell yeah.
if you're ever in Buffalo, let us know. We'll get some
100%.
chicken
We'll have to. Well, 100%. It's kind of, if I head south from Toronto, if I'm driving, I have to cut right through there. So we'll
Perfect.
definitely keep you guys in the loop and definitely get out for a round.
Hell yeah,
Sounds
that'd
like
be
a plan.
great. Hell yeah,
Cool.
man.
All right,
man.
boys. Take it easy. See ya.